What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow! So, your man's Deontay Wilder has broken his silence for the first time, specifically on Tyson's Scaries, aka Tyson Fury's C19 gate. Yeah? Tyson Scaries, July 24th, PULLOUT, which is now what's being called by the hardcore boxing circles as C19 gate or fake news gate. Deontay Wilder has broken his silence and spoken on this specific event. He said the following: "Yo, bro, at Malik, OnlyFans Scott, say it ain't so." In fact, tell a lie. I got that wrong. Let me tell you what he actually said. He actually said this: "Oh man, yo, bro, yo, Malik Queen Scott, say it ain't so, bro. Not the C19 lie. They're going to hell for that one. On October 9th, cannot come any faster." So there you go then. There's the actual official. Now we saw this obviously was a Instagram tweet from Deontay Wilder, but again, you man know the YB don't play around. The YB likes to bring exclusive leaks to you, man, and that obviously most average dons, who don't follow the YB, all they get is the dry looking ass Instagram page. The YB's dons, I give you fresh audio direct from Deontay Wilder. Now, like I told you, man, before the other day, me and Deontay Wilder, we've gone through it, but end of the day, he rates the YB, and that's why your man's gets the exclusive WhatsApp audio messages, no doubt. Yeah? I said, "Yo, Wilder, I saw your IG post. Would you mind for the YB Donnies sending through a quick voice message?" No doubt. And obviously, you man just heard that. Anyway, let's get back to it then. Listen. You heard Deontay Wilder's WhatsApp voice message, exclusive to the YB. And, listen. What I find, not suspect, but what I find disappointing about this is the fact that Tyson Fury pulled out 3 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago now. And your man's Deontay's been hella quiet. Quiet for nothing. Which leads me to believe, and even now to be honest, even look at these quotes here. They're kind of moist, aren't they? He ain't really calling it out. He says, "Oh man, not the C19 lie. Why weren't he banging the drum back on? The fight's already been and gone now, by the way. Can you believe that? Can you believe this weekend would be 8 days, or not 7-8 days since the fight? Isn't that a madness? And if anything, I'm kind of asking myself, wait a minute. The fight's been and passed now. July 24th's been and passed over a week. And this is the first thing we really hear from Wilder. Why are you so quiet for? Let's not forget, initially when this fight first fell through, we heard from Shelley Winkle, Deontay Wilder's manager. And he said, "Oh, Wilder ain't very happy." And now we get this little piece. Now we get this little dry piece. My point is, YB, what do you mean? What's the problem with Wilder not saying much? Well, I find it sus. I find it susp. Yeah? Because a lot of the allegations have been potentially that Wilder and Scary are working together, in as much as they ain't sold no tickets. So they're both playing along to get along. Now, me personally, you man know, my loyal dons know, I'm done with Fury, so I'm putting it all on him. But I do feel there is a level of collusion here. I feel at least Deontay Wilder and his team have been more or less happy to go along to get along. Why? Because I think the tickets sucked. And I think Wilder's thinking to himself, you know what? I'm not that bothered, because we weren't selling no tickets. But my problem is, ultimately, let's assume that Tyson Scary was shook for whatever reason and pulled out, and Deontay Wilder's team were happy to go along to get along. My issue is that, again, ultimately, where do they think this ends? What do you think, that you couldn't sell no tickets in July 24th, and now October 9th you're going to magically sell tickets? Now, to be fair to them, again, the dons who follow my channel will know that they have dropped the prices by 20-25%, and we're still 3 months out. So the fact they're already dropping prices like they're hot, the fact they're listening to Snoop Dogg and dropping it like it's hot, implies that they just really want to sell out. They don't care about maintaining the stupid, ridiculous high prices. Because again, I exposed to you, man. The first Wilder and Fury fight, the first one, they were selling tickets. In fact, tell I. The first Deontay Wilder and Fury fight, a week before the first Wilder and Fury fight, yeah, they were struggling. You can see the article. Go on my channel and see it. A week before the first Wilder and Fury fight, they were struggling to sell tickets at $60 a pop. This last fight was listed at $500 for the cheapest one. So, it's one of them ones, really. Yeah, they're dropping prices, but they best drop it like it's hot, hot, hot. They best bring Snoop in to drop it even hotter. How about that? Yeah. But either way, you know what? The point is here. Ultimately, it don't matter. Yeah? They ain't going to sell no tickets in October 9th if they carry on going this way. Which, again, is my point here. What worries me is, they are playing, if they're playing together, yeah, and it's all about selling tickets, as I've told you, man, please don't cross your toes and fingers thinking it's going to happen in October 9th, because these dons are sloppy. The fact they were so slow to react to their port, they knew tickets weren't selling. So why did they have to wait for the event to go and to pass themselves by? They could have cut the prices a month before, but they thought they were smart. They thought they was greedy. Oh no, it's gonna ramp up, and it weren't ramping up. Hence the pullout. Hence why Wilder's been moist, not said nothing. And that's why I don't really rate Wilder like that, because even with the alleged glove stuff, even with all of Wilder's alleged conspiracy things, guess what? What has he never done? Wilder has actually never come out and publicly really aired it out there. He said things like, "Oh man, the Bible says the debt must be repaid 2 times," and that's all he said. He ain't really said no detail, has he? Serious. He's never actually come out and said, "Tyson, you are a liar. You lied about this." It's always some weird, goofy thing like this right here. "Oh man, not the C19 lie." My point is, he hasn't acted Tyson, has he? He hasn't at Tyson scary. You know what I'm saying? Clearly he's locked into social media. Clearly he hears all the narratives. We know he follows the LDBC. We know he follows the LDBGTQZ. Yeah? We know he loves them, man. We know Deontay Wilder follows the #1 Rainbow Dons. But yet he don't give the fans no kind of... What I'm saying is, why doesn't he back it? Why isn't he out here banging the drum, airing Fury out? Well, why? Because listen, they playing a team event here, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. He'll put the odd nudge in there. He'll make the odd video like he did before. Oh, 2 times this, 2 times that. You dented my head. But he don't really come with the smoke, does he? And think about it. You just allegedly had to take him to court. I'm not even sure if that happened, as you man know. I'm not sure if it happened. I don't know. I mean, you man tell me. Have you seen any documents from this alleged court thing? I ain't heard no documents. I ain't heard no official press following it. Have you? For example, look at Britney Spears' thing, yeah? Britney Spears has a thing going on. It's all in the newspaper. There's all court pictures and all that kind of stuff. This one here, though. Wilder and Fury. I ain't seen no documents. I ain't seen no transcripts. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't seen no pictures. I ain't seen no big press following it. It's all been inside boxing, man. Like Mike Coppinger. So I'm not even sure that they even went to court. Which again would lead into the whole part of their working together on some next thing. And this follows that narrative. Wilder never says anything or does anything that really brings Tyson Fury into question, or seriously scrutinises Tyson Scary. Don't get me wrong, he's happy to gas all of his mans up to do it, if that makes sense. But he himself never puts himself out there. Why? Potentially, in my opinion, because he don't want to do anything that really properly damages the event. He's happy to push the flames and keep the flames burning. Like this little post here. It's enough for us hardcore, innit? This kind of post here is enough for us hardcore dons to know what he's doing. But really, the broader media, You can't pick up on this, can you? Well, I'm not being funny. We've just seen a BBC documentary airing out El Trapahan. But if Deontay Wilder came with some proper, you know what I'm saying, came with some proper stuff, there could be a documentary about license. I don't see why not, do you? Think about it. The glove stuff suspect. This lie suspect. There could be a BBC documentary about license, in my opinion. But guess what? They ain't going to do that based on the YB, are they? They ain't going to do that based on the LDBCDG2QZ. Someone, if Wilder was really going for it, actually taking people to court and whatnot, because in my opinion, the fact that, assume the court case is real, yeah? Your man Fury just lost the court case, and now he's arguably been caught red-handed lying to get himself out of a court-ordered event. Innit? How does that not have some sort of... How is Wilder just happy to go along to get along? They working together, how about that? Because the court already said this fight needs to be done within 90 days. Why did Wilder's team, who won the court thing allegedly, if they won it, why would they agree to the extension for? Explain it. Especially now, when, because I guess at the time you could argue, well, it's a medical reason, the court can't do nothing. But now there's arguably evidence to prove you're lying. Why have they not gone back to the court and said, listen, court, clearly this man's a ducker because he made us take him to court in the first place. Now he's playing games with, and by doing that, at least pressure the court to make Tyson scary show evidence. And fair enough, if Tyson Scary shows his positive things and what, and shows his medical details to the court, so be it. You ain't lost nothing, have you? But potentially, if License Scary gets twitchy about falsing medical records or whatnot, because he is lying, and he chooses not to do that, potentially you could, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Potentially you could, I don't know, whatever, win something. But what do we know? Guess what Wilder ain't doing? Wilder ain't doing none of that. Like I said, he ain't even airing him out on Twitter. How can I be air this License Fury out? Don't even affect me, but this Deontay Wilder, who it directly affects, he quiet. He wait 3 weeks. Like, let's call a spade here. For the first few days when Fury pulled out, at the most, the mainstream would follow it. We're now 2.5, 3 weeks later. The mainstream ain't following it now. Wilder knows this. If he'd come out when it first kicked off and was putting it out there, it would have been relevant. Now 2.5 weeks later, the only people following this is the hardcores, innit? Let's call a spade here. He knows that. He waited for it all to die down, and now look, listen, the fight's been. It's the thing. Do you think it's a coincidence? The fight's now been and gone, and now Wilder's piping up. I'm sorry, man. This seems sus to me. Super sus. Yeah? Super sus. He was super quiet. Now the fight, now July 24th's been and gone. All of a sudden, he want to put an indirect out there. Oh, man, you know, it's the C19 lie. I'm not even sure what he's getting at, to be honest with you. Say it. Yo, bro, say it ain't so. Not the C19 lie. They're going to hell. See, I'm not even sure. What does that even mean? Is he saying that License Fury shouldn't lie about something so serious? I think that's probably what he means. I think Deontay Wilder's saying License Scary is going to go to HELL for telling a lie about something so serious. It's a bit like, some people would say it's a bit like lying about cancer, for example. Which, to be honest, it might really, ultimately, lying about any medical situation. Especially when people have died from it. So it is, in a way, it is the same, isn't it, really? Saying you've died of C19 is the same as... he hasn't died of it, but saying you've suffered from something people are dying from. That is serious, isn't it? It's almost... Well, we know people like Anthony Yardy, he's had people who's passed away from it. So for someone like License Scary to bring it up and just throw it out there because he's desperate, because he's running, because he's scary, it takes the Michael out of everyone who's really suffering with it. But again, this brings me back to my ultimate point. Who else, if not Wilder, who has an active court case, If not the WBC, if not the regulators, if not Nevada Athletic Commission, who, who can do something about it? Because someone, it's either going to be Wilder, because you was the one who won in court. I'm sure, I don't care what no one says, I'm sure, given the evidence, given you think it's a lie, I'm sure you could have pressed the court to press him to at least cough up some proof. The Athletic Commission, why aren't they stepping in and saying, you know what, we've opened an investigation? Because this does seem a little sus. And these organisations, yeah, at the least, all they have to do is say, you know what, because I don't care what no one says, in my professional legal opinion, in my barristorial opinion, yeah, there is certainly enough evidence to, what's the word? There's enough evidence to open an investigation and to force Licensed Scary to provide evidence, to provide proof of what he's saying. If he provides proof, then so be it, game over. But there's at least enough evidence for him to, you know what I'm saying, to ask him to cough it up. But no one don't do nothing. Let's not forget this. No one didn't ask Licensed Scary, oh, YB, you know, you're taking it too serious. No one didn't ask Licensed Scary to make things up, did they? He made it up, so he should live by it now. And that's another thing. Not only did no one ask him to lie, also, no one asked him to lie and then act an idiot, i.e. come into the casino and partying. He could have lied, yeah? Sat down for a week and no one would have been none the wiser. I mean, I still would have thought he was lying, but the point is, good lies are lies that aren't easy to prove. That's what he could have done. Instead, he didn't, and that's on him, in my opinion. He didn't lie well. So that means people should investigate at that point. If you want to tell it, if Licensed Scary told a good lie and fooled it or fooled the majority of people, that's the name of the game kind of thing. You get over what you can on people, but these regulators, if you don't start punishing some of these actions, blatant lies, which you know what I'm saying, average people can work out it's a lie, and you just sit there and allow it. Sport's a joke, truth be known. And I'm sorry, but Wilder's a joke. Saying about talking about how serious it is, but then you ain't do nothing about it. I wouldn't even mind you if Wilder said, well, you know, the point is, at least try and ask the court. At least try and ask. That's another thing. Not only could Wilder ask the court, but maybe even ask the regulators. Why hasn't he sent a message to the Nevada Athletics Commission or the WBC and said to them, listen, check this video out, check this information out. It's obvious he's lying, he's flip-flopping, you know what I'm saying? When the pictures came out, yeah, and a day later they said, oh no, he tested negative. Are you telling me there ain't no cause to say, you know what, Lyson, you look hella sloppy right now. You best show us the test. Simple as that. Otherwise, you're getting stripped. Otherwise, whatever. That's what should have happened, in my opinion. Especially from the WBC situation where he already tried to run away from contractual obligations, and also, more importantly, he's already held the belt up for 17 months. So the WBC should have said, you know what, Fury, you've been holding the belt up for 18 months, you just missed the fight date, and now the reason you cited for missing the fight date has been dragged into question because you said you was sick, but then you was pictured kissing fans. When if you had C19, you shouldn't be near no one. This is what you call, what is it? But either way, this is what you call it. It reaches the burden of whatever to start. Do you know what I'm saying? For us to be able to investigate it, it reaches the burden of that level where you're able to say, yeah, this is enough. I forgot what they call it. They call it in law when you reach a particular level of kind of evidence, you're then able to take action against someone. Yeah? The evidence level was reached. How about that? But oh no. Us fans can't do nothing, but someone in Wilder's position, he would be able to, because for example, when a fan puts pressure on the Nevada Athletic Commission or WBC, they don't care, do they? But when someone like Wilder, who's an active fighter with millions of followers, when he starts pressing for it, and then obviously Mike Coppinger and the media, that's what I was trying to say, when he starts pressing for it, publicly tagging them in a post or whatever and saying, what are you going to do about his lies? And then Mike Coppinger and BBC start reporting on it. Wilder presses for regulator action on Tyson Fury lies. Yeah? It's a big snowball. That then, everyone sees the WBC are being questioned and what they're going to do. If they sit there and ignore it, they look super bad. But what's happened in the last 3 weeks? Nothing. Wilder been quiet. Wilder ain't said nothing to no courts or no regulators. Wilder ain't even tagged Fury in the post. He just talking. So like I said, ultimately it's super sus. They're working together. Bottom line, no doubt.